I went to a little school in Colorado a long time ago. Went out to fly A-10s for about 1,500 hours of practicing blowing things up. A lot of fun. I was in 3 different theaters of ops, but got out right before Saddam Hussein got stupid, and a lot of my friends got to go take care of a bunch of his tanks, and I got lots of pictures and descriptions. But I got out back in '89 and been flying for airlines ever since. And now flying these civilian warbirds, I've gotten more of an appreciation for what we did back then and keeping them together. It's fun being your own maintenance officer and pilot and gunnery sergeant that I never had to do before. And I've been working on putting guns on. But anyway, Dave?
So I'm Dave Desmond. I was commissioned from Oregon State Navy ROTC in '82 and was a submarine officer from '82 till '94. Served on fast attack and Trident ballistic missile subs both. So I was the strategic weapons officer on the Trident, and this was the finger that controlled 24 nuclear intercontinental ballistic missiles. You can all cower in fear now. And in between the two, I was a Navy intelligence instructor.
My name is Fred.
Hi, Fred.
I'm your local Army helicopter pilot. I flew scouts, the little Loaches in Vietnam in 1969 and made it back.
Dan, you're up.
I was very fortunate, got to spend 30 plus years in the Air Force, got to go out flying at taxpayer expense. Flew fighters from the F-86 to the F-4 and a couple of tours in Vietnam. That was it. And I have, I don't know, I could convert my red line 129 mile an hour L3. I'll have to convert that to a Mach number. so I don't have to continue to take
altitude into consideration. We're going to go down the rows.
Stan Kaspersik, Sundance. Also went to a former boys' school in the Rockies. 2 years, I think, before you did. And they just started giving Eagle jets out when I went finished pilot training. So I flew Eagles for 11 years, a couple thousand hours, and it was a great, wonderful thing. And they had the correct number of seats too. 1.
Cool. Who's next? Second row.
Mike Maxwell, I'm going to be talking a little bit, so I'll wait till then and introduce the rest.
Gotcha.
Good job, Smooth.
Kent Mayer, I was a captain in the Air Force. I was a T-37 flight instructor, and I went on to program research flight simulators in that area.
Cool. So you worked in torture devices.
Now, interestingly, we did research in how effective flight simulation was and that type of thing. And the one thing that people will disagree with is the motion systems that everybody sells and all that, they're only effective in doing low visibility instrument approaches. Otherwise, they're useless. Visual systems override everything.
Someday I'll tell a story about that. I agree with you.
Yeah.
Next.
Hi, I'm Dick Loftenberg. I got my commission through ROTC at the University of Idaho, and it seemed at that time everybody who went to flight school were helicopter pilots, but the needs of the services, I became a bird dog pilot, or forward air controller. And so anyway, I have a lot of air medals, but one of them is a Distinguished Flying Cross that was awarded to me right here in the big room. And so the reason it was so late is because all the records burned down in St. Louis, like any military guy knows. It was all burned down. And so the award was there, but it was resurrected. But it was only about, I can't remember how many years ago this was, so January 13th, 2007 when this was. So I'm going to pass this around, you can see what it's all about.
Cool.
When we first got there, the L-19 or the L-1, which we were flying, was like a Cessna 170. And anyway, it had no armor plating or anything like that. So we should take we were issued flight vests, flat vests like this, and basically we'd sit on them. And later on, we got some armored seats, so what we did is we wore these. But anyway, some people say that a round can go through here. It's more or less it's not Teflon, but it's like fiberglass something. And the infantry guys wore the same thing. So by the time you put in the flight vest and this and armored seats and all of it, we were way overgrossed. They weighed one day and they said, we aren't going to tell you what it was. Anyway, we did fly, and the weather was bad all the time, so the density altitude and that, it was just awful. So I don't know how we all did that, but anyway, I'm going to set this off the side because most people have not seen one of these. And again, the infantry guys wore these, but we either sat on these or wore these.
I want to see one of the kids wear it. I want to see if one of the kids can wear it.
Yeah, well, it fits. But I got it off the internet. It's not the one that I wore, although I did wear a medium, and this is a large. So I'll set it off the side. People can look at it, or you should come over and pick it up and see how heavy it is. I was just amazed what we did. It wasn't too bad for us because we put it on and sat down. But the infantry guys wore the same thing all day long. Humidity and heat, it's awful. But any of the newsreels you see from Vietnam, they all have these on, and it saved a lot of lives.
Yeah, you had to borrow that from the meetings, man.
Bob Brung, US 5641-7290. Specialist E5, served in the Armored Cavalry out of Vung Tau in Chu Lai, Vietnam, 1968. And I know that.
All right, who's next on that row?
I'm Steve Hewitt, enlisted in the Marine Corps October 68, did one term in Vietnam, got out March 70. I was a grunt, 0311. But they said, you're kind of tall and you can go in the machine gun squad, so I carried an M60. Our flight jackets were a little bit different style, but yeah, we wore them.
Eric Olson, U.S. Navy. Served in BF Squadron, S3 Squadron, on board the USS Enterprise in '98, and on the maiden voyage of the USS Truman, CVN 75 in 2001, and then went from there to do an exchange tour. I was the naval liaison officer to Army Headquarters Europe, so I can speak Army. Translate between the two, if anybody needs a translator.
You just grunt, right?
Hey!
And then got out in 04, but still serving as a reservist in DP-69 on the correct side of the air water.
And what do those airplanes do?
Kill something.
Did you ever find them?
All the time.
Paul Yeoman, joined the Navy in 65, so 4 years regular active duty, 8 years active reserve, T-28 squadrons, and down to Florida, VR squadron at Whitby, C-54s, T-118s, and just introduced the C-9 just as I got out. My glorious naval career includes 6 hours at sea.
Well done.
can't see the back of the room.
No?
That's it?
Weird.
Well, sure. Introduce him.
Introduce your dad.
I'll do this for my dad. Actually, Robin and I, that's my wife back there, Robin, in the back. We were talking about this because we were both raised in the Navy. My father was a naval aviator, went into the military, escaped Albuquerque back in 1952, went in as an enlisted, worked his way through actually refueling airplanes in Midway and said, hey, this looks like fun, so I'm going to go ahead. And he joined the NAVCAD program, became a naval aviator flying P-2s. He became one of the Navy's earliest or youngest patrol plane commanders, PPCs at the time. Went on to fly P-3s, ended his career flying basically C-118s, C-117s, and C-47s in Keflavik, Iceland. And still around, living in Pennsylvania, is 81 years old. And that's my dad.
Don't you have the same story?
Yeah.
Stand up, Rob.
Yeah.
He went to little school in Annapolis, Maryland. And, and it was during the war, so he only had 3 years at that school, so we always teased him about that. But he joined the medical corps and was in for 35 years. He's still kicking. At 92, he's commanding the assisted living center where he is.
Okay. Well, my dad was also in the Naval Aviation Cadet Program, graduated Pensacola 1939, served on the Ranger initially, and then on the Bunker Hill, which is the ship that Crash's plane was painted to look like it came from. He participated in a number of battles, Tarawa, Kavieng, Truck, Rabaul. He sank a light cruiser by himself and was awarded the Navy Cross for that.
Wow.
What was he flying?
A TDF.
TBS?
Yeah.
Nice. Did you have something?
Fred, didn't you earn some kind of a medal when you were in
Some kind of medal.
More importantly, my mother was a wasp.
There you go.
And she said,
Fred's mom showed us her pilot's license one time. And her pilot's license says airplane, single and multi-engine land 110 to 4,500 horsepower.
yeah.
And it was signed by Orville Wright, wasn't it?
I think it was Leonardo da Vinci.
Thanks for that, and I'd just like to give everybody another. For doing that. I appreciate everybody's service, and I'm glad that we can share it with everybody else that didn't get a chance to do it. And just as an aside, Air Force did beat Army and beat Navy this year. So the Commander-in-Chief's trophy goes to Air Force. So just thought I'd let everybody know. Dave, it's all yours.